Colton's taking my camera. Do 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 do.
Yeah, you don't have to broadcast video or anything with Roll20.
There we go.
So let me just stop this music because that's coming through.
Properties, chroma, yes.
So that's about 60%.
I need to change my dashboard. Is the music still going? What? Rory, go to bed. Don't leave your room. It's way too late. Jesus Christ. All right.
Oh, something else I want to check, because now I figured out how the sounds work on that. What about this? Like, how loud is that?
I don't hear anything.
Really? Huh, that's weird. Okay, so tabletop audio doesn't. Let me check something.
Hey, can you put on the music that you had on before? Because I feel like as soon as I turned OBS on, I stopped hearing it.
Okay,
Did you
there's no
turn it
music
off?
playing. There's no music playing right now. Let me
Okay.
just turn it back on.
Oops.
Come on, why aren't you playing? Why does this sound so low now? I don't understand. You hear it now?
No.
Weird, because it should have been playing the exact... Are you receiving video and audio on Roll20?
Oh, no, I'm not. Do I need to?
That's... Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's...
okay. Let's see. Receive video and voice.
Yeah, you don't have to...
That's probably what screwed it up.
Yeah, you don't have to broadcast, but you do have to receive it, because it's broadcasting on that channel.
Okay.
So just let me know when you're...
I'm receiving now, but I haven't heard it. Yeah, I hear it again.
How loud is that?
That's too loud. That's probably needs to come down about 75%.
What about now?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay.
Well, it may have gone down too much.
Alright, so that's really difficult to... Oh, you know what? That, let me... What about now?
It's a little low. Probably could come up 20% or something.
How's that?
I can't even hear it now. Barely hear it. Now it's too loud.
How about that?
That's probably pretty good.
Okay. So... and then let's say I do, I don't know, something like this. No. That's really low. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like how soft those are. But this should be fine. I think. If it would ever fucking play. There we go. Is that too loud or is that good?
Might be a little loud. Probably bring it down like 10% or something. It's not bad. It's not like blaring in my ears.
Okay, that's fine. So yeah, so I'll keep it 50% on the max volume and about 60 for the music track. That's a decent level. So just let me know if you're like I want to see how this comes through on OBS at least.
Yeah, it's. I'm streaming.
Okay. I don't really. Well, I'll turn it over there, but I won't really be able to check it out until.
Be careful.
What's up?
I think that was that must have been the video chat coming.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, that was weird.
That wasn't me. I'm gonna step away for a second. I gotta
That's fine.
check
I'm
on my
not-
daughter again.
I'm not actually gonna like. I can't actually watch your stream and have this music playing in my ear at the same time.
You gotta get an iPad or something. Your phone. Use your phone.
Well, all right. You know what? I'll try that.
Modern technology.
Yeah, you can do your thing. I'll.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll be right back. All right. That's good. Alright, so tonight we're playing The Darkest Dungeon. You might hear some interesting music and things in the background. We're testing some stuff out for our Sunday night Pathfinder sessions that we have every Sunday at 8 Eastern called Exploding Dice. You can catch us, hang out with us. If you're a fan of old school tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons, haven't heard of Pathfinder, it's very similar. And we have a good time. We have some laughs, we have some cries. We do it up pretty good. So come out, hang out. But tonight I'm going to be playing some Darkest Dungeon. This game just came out a few weeks ago. It's a lot of fun. Still very, very, very new at it, but I think I've got the motions here. Let me go over some of the basics about this game, because I'm not going to start over again with a new save. I haven't really gotten that far in things. But essentially what we've got here is it looks very similar to it is a turn-based RPG, similar to like the fighting styles of your classic Final Fantasies and so on, where the turns are taken sequentially in a matter of time. You can take as much time in each turn as you want. You will not run out of time, and that's kind of how the battle works. What's neat about Darkest Dungeon is a couple things. The first thing is this town here that you see. The town acts as kind of like your resource spender. Most RPG players are used to spending their money on loots and things that they might be able to buy at the taverns, maybe a stay at the inn to recover some health, save your game, so on. In Darkest Dungeon, while we have a lot of characters, you can see here on the right, I've got a lot of characters, and some of them look very similar to each other. That is because these characters are actually resources. They're actually somewhat expendable. What we can do here is we use these characters to formulate a team, to send into the dungeons, to gather loots and resources that you see down here in the bottom in my gold count. And then I upgrade these town structures. These town structures then allow me to heal and save my my dudes. One second. Sounds good, buddy. Whoops. Let's see here. I'm gonna turn the sound back on in a second. Options, audio, unmute. Okay, so what we can then do is we can use this town to upgrade our guys, get them new equipment, better equipment. We can actually recruit some new heroes from this little stagecoach here, which actually replenishes our roster. They're free. They don't cost anything to bring new guys in, but you have to have enough space in your roster in order to bring them in. They come in at level 0. As you can see, I have one level 0 guy in my group. I have 3 level 1s, 4 level 2s, and the rest are level 3s. So what happens is, if the level 3 content becomes a little bit too difficult for you, and you can't do it, and you don't really have enough quality in the 2s and 1s, you maybe bring in some 0s and you try and build them up, and that's kind of what you do. Early on in the game, obviously, you're just going to have the 0s and you bring them in as often as you can, fortify your group, and try to move forward. So, like I said, you use these things to bolster your guild, your tavern, your blacksmith. Blacksmith allows you to upgrade weapons, upgrade armor, and is actually one of the things that I'm currently looking to try and do. I want to get enough of these deeds here, 26 deeds. I have 20. In order to bump up my armor smithing so I can get level 3 armor on these guys. I can get level 3 weapons but not armor. And that'll be a big help. Now, one of the things you might see here as I mouse over the abbey, the sanitarium, and the tavern is a common theme that's also really neat and interesting to this game, is stress. So essentially what our guys have in the game is 2 health bars. We've got a regular health bar that we can't see while we're here in town. But that's just your standard health bar, just like any other RPG. And then we have this this stress bar. So this stress bar basically will go up and go down as our heroes get stressed. Now they may get stressed walking through the dungeon. They may get stressed, falling over a trap. They may get stressed by creatures that have significantly stressful abilities. When this stress bar fills up once, they'll actually get a malady that will alter them severely for the rest of the dungeon, and then will stick with them permanently until you actually remove it through one of these stress relief mechanisms. And the thing with that is, it's pretty expensive. If I want to send... Oh, he doesn't like to go to these places. Let's see here. If I want to send her and have her get peace through meditation, it's going to cost me 1,500. Praying is 1,575, and right now I cannot flog her because the caretaker is there, and I believe that caretaker is me. And that's your role in this game. You actually play the caretaker. So you're the man with the money that's sending these people off to try and figure out what's going on in these dungeons and trace down your lineage. So that's pretty much how this game functions. It's really cool. I'm going to go ahead here and go to Embark. And one of the things that I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go and attempt to fight this boss. I've actually never fought this boss, called the Brigand 8 Pounder. All of these missions that you see here all have difficulties. This is the darkest dungeon, which is the hardest difficulty, and as soon as I click on it, my guys freak out and say, no, 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 I won't do it. These missions with the skulls are boss missions, so I have 3 boss missions that I can do. We also have missions that are veteran difficulty, so that's level 3 to level 4, I believe. And then if I wanted to have a level 3 person on a apprentice mission, they're going to say, no way. The quest is beneath my experience. So there you have it. So that's kind of the trick of the game, is to make sure you have the right people for the right jobs and that you can make a balanced party. The different missions have different goals. They all always offer some loot just for beating the mission. This is not representative of the loot that you'll find in the dungeon. That's all pretty much random. So it's somewhat like a rogue light in that fashion. That there is permadeath, there is dungeon crawling and finding loot and trying to meet the goals of the dungeon. And you can see ahead of time. This is the guaranteed loot if I win. Well, with that said, I've formed a group here that I'm going to take into the dungeon with me. I have a Crusader. Here he is. His name is Messnage. I did not name him because I made the mistake of naming some of my guys. You might see some familiar names here. I had named a few of them when I started, and then some of them died, and I felt really, really bad about. Yeah, some of the characters named after my real life friends kind of kicking it. So that's what we have. So there's a Crusader. He's a melee fighter that also has some healing abilities, not a lot, but some, and also has the ability to heal the stress bar, which is really cool. And you always like to have that. Some people can heal their own stress bar, others can heal other people's stress bars, and he can heal others, which is really nice. Next to him, I have the Hound Master. And this is how I like to configure my Hound Masters, with a self-heal, a stun, and then some, there's a AoE bleed, and then some long-range attacking, which is really, really nice. The dog can reach all the way to the back lines. These are some of the things that you want to find when you're trying to set up your group. You want to have some healing, you may want to have some stress healing, depending on the difficulty of the dungeon that you're going into. You're going to want to have some really good DPS, and then you're also going to want to have enough reach to get to the back line, or at least maybe pull the back line forward, which you'll see here in a second as well. This is my Grave Robber. She really works well in the 3rd position. She's got an attack that she can use on the first 3 positions, which is what this little graph looks like. She also can throw daggers or put on plague or blight on the back rows, which is really, really nice too. And she can also heal blight and bleeds off herself, with also buffing herself to get dodge and speed, which will affect when in the attack sequence she goes. And finally, we have my favorite healer of the healers, the Occultist. And the Occultist here doesn't have a whole lot of healing skills, but he has one healing skill here, which is pretty good. It heals 0 to 16 in its current iteration, and has a chance to put bleed on your characters. But if your characters have bleed resist built in, then they may not actually get hit by the bleed, so it winds up becoming one of the best heal skills that we can have. He also has a pull, which is really nice because you can take those mages and pull them to the front, or take archers and pull them to the front, and they're less effective when they're up front. They have less skills that they can use. And then you have some debuffs and some backline reach. So that's kind of how I like to build out my parties. This is one of my favorite build outs. I do swap out this Crusader for the Leper a lot, or the Man-at-Arms. I like the Houndmaster a lot. Sometimes I'll swap out the Grave Robber for the Highwayman. Also like the Hellion a lot to put in. The Bounty Hunter's pretty good too. And then the back line, I like the Occultist, but Plague Doctor, this Vestals are really nice too. They're like pretty much a dedicated healer. And Arbalest can actually heal a little bit too, which is really nice because she can put out some major deeps. But that's more of a riskier play. You kind of want people that can heal themselves too if you're going to go that route. Without further ado, I say we go and kill the Brigand 8-pounder. So, I think, yeah, they're all equipped with some trinkets. We're going to go in to the provision section. So here we are in the provisions. This is a medium-sized dungeon, which means that we automatically get firewood because we're going to make a camp somewhere in the dungeon. And the camping is going to allow us to recover some stress, recover some health, maybe buff ourselves. It's a really nice thing. I really recommend anybody that gets into playing this game to try and look for medium-sized dungeons, because the small dungeons don't allow you to camp at all. And camping can actually really, really, really help you out a lot, and then makes the mediums almost easier than the smalls in a lot of regards. And certainly the loot is more plentiful. So we also have some holy water and some dog treats that we automatically get from our Houndmaster. We've got a shovel here that I think we get from our grave digger. I'm going to go ahead and get another shovel. They're really handy to have. We're going to need some food. For a medium-sized dungeon, I like to take 18, because you can use food while camping, and then there's also times where you'll need to use for food throughout the dungeon because your party will get hungry. You can also use food to heal your party members in between battles, which is interesting because you can't actually use the heal skills of any of the skills of the characters in between rooms. You can only do it in combat. So going into combat with a already hurt character may be very risky because you may not be the first one to go first, or you may not be able to heal them in time. I'm going to take a couple keys. They're good for unlocking treasure chests and curios that have treasure in them. This is a medium-sized dungeon. I'll probably take 16 torches. It might be a bit much, but I'll do it anyways. I'm going to take some other little accoutrement here, and sure, we'll take bandage. Alright, that looks good, and we're going to go ahead into this dungeon here.
Simple folk are by their nature loquacious, and the denizens of the hamlet were no exception. It was not long before rumors of my morbid genius and secretive excavations began to fuel local legend. In the face of my increasingly egregious flaunting of public taboos, awe turned to ire, and demonstrations were held in the town square. The smell of sulfur and gunpowder hangs in the air. The war machine is close.
Alright. So here we go. Looks like I just spawned here in this where this torch is, and I'm very, very fortunate to have scouted out a little bit of my surroundings, which is really nice. I can see that these two rooms actually have battles in them, with also a curio, which could be a treasure chest of some sort, or just something that can be looted or could potentially hurt me as well. Additionally, as I move down this hall to this room that doesn't have a battle, there's a battle here in the middle of the hallway, and I've got another battle here in the hallway. Now, since this is a boss battle, generally speaking, the objective is probably going to be in the furthest position away from where we start. So it's probably going to be right here. And so that makes it very easy to figure out like kind of where we want to camp. You know, if we get here, we may want to camp in this room so that we're full or really healed up and buffed before we go and attack the boss here. Other missions are different. Some missions say that you have to clear out 90% of the rooms. On a map like this, you can maybe only skip 2 rooms. So maybe we decide to skip these 2 battle rooms and we hit up this, pop up here, but you know, we got to figure out our track. So we don't run out of munitions and torches and stuff. Other rooms have you searching for quest items, which would turn up through the scouting. If I was lucky enough to scout those rooms, I'd figure out where those quest items are if they were here. But sometimes they can be difficult too, because you can't just plan out ahead of time which 90% of the rooms you're going to check, because you kind of have to check them all until you find the quest items that you're looking for. Generally, it's like get 3 things, and those 3 things are going to be in 3 different rooms. Another quest type is going to be fight 100% of the room battles. A room battle would be like this. Move to this room battle with curio. This is not a room battle. This is like a hallway battle. Hallway battles are generally a little bit easier than room battles, but they can be fairly similar in difficulty. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to move to this room here. It's going to put me in this hallway. See here, this is my torch. I'm always going to try and keep my torch around 100%, but I don't want to get wasty with my torches. That was empty. So I'm going to get each torch heals up, or replenishes 15 light. So once that gets to 75, then I'll pop a torch. So I'm always close to, or at least over 75. Alright, so we are in this battle. We can see here the stats of these creatures. These are human eldritches. They look like little fungal men. This little guy here, he will actually mark us, debuff us, blight us, as you can see down here at the bottom in the skills section. Generally speaking, the guys in the back are the ones you're going to want to try and kill first. These guys here have some attacks, groping and harmless and rend the marked. They also have 33 protection. So they're going to be a little extra strong against just my regular old attacks, and so in this case probably bleed is going to be very helpful against them, as they only have 20% bleed resist but a 60% blight resist, which is like poison damage. So my plan here really is going to be to kind of try and focus down this artillery in the back, while also, you know, maintaining potentially some stuns on these guys. And some bleeds. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with the Hound's Harry, because it actually offers bleed for everybody on the enemy team, if I'm lucky enough to get it. There we go. So now they're all bleeding. So now I've got my Grave Robber. She's going to go ahead and throw this dagger she's got at this man in the back. I guess that's a man. He's kind of upside down, all twisted and such. Alright, so now my Crusader here, he can do a couple things. He can just flat out attack one of these guys in the front. He's not going to be able to reach the back line. He can kind of hit both of them with the Zealous Accusation, which is a really cool spell effect. Or we can smite one of them. If you pick it, he can also heal, but we haven't taken any damage. But what he also does is he can do a stress heal, which increases my torch light and does a heal. My Grave Robber here actually started off with 40 stress. I'm not really sure why, but she did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and remove some of her stress, just to try and get it a little bit more manageable, and because I didn't really have another play that I really liked. So now my Occultist. My Occultist is my healer, but I don't have to heal anybody again. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to attack and pull this fungal artillery to the front.
Masterfully executed.
Now he's only got 1 hit point left, and that bleed just killed him off. So if he hadn't died, he would have been in the front row, which would have made him right in range of my melee attackers. And also, he may not potentially be able to use all of his skills from that close up. They did a couple attacks. Looked like they focused down on my Houndmaster. Got a little ding on them, but nothing to be too worried about. Okay, so as I mentioned, I can flat out attack these guys. 33%, just kind of protection resist. But I'm going to try and get some blight on them. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this guy in the back with the blight dart, and he resisted the blight. Boo! All right, I'm going to go ahead and debuff this guy in the front here. Doesn't look like much, but it actually reduces his damage by 35% for 3 rounds. So that's a pretty big deal. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stun one of these guys. If they're stunned, they're not going to be able to get an attack on me, which basically is just going to have the damage, or you know, maybe even do better than that. Since he's stunned, I'm going to go ahead and smite this guy in the back. You always want to try and attack the one that's not stunned or CC'd, because you know you might have a chance of killing them, and then you're not going to really take much damage at all. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and heal my Houndmaster and hope that I don't make him bleed, which I didn't. So his health just went up by quite a bit. And I'm going to throw a dagger at this guy in the back, and he is dead.
A faint hope blossoms.
Finally, I'm going to send my Hound at this guy here. He's bleeding even more. Bleeds do stack, blights stack, everything stacks. He's going to feebly attempt to hack at my guy, and my Crusader is going to finish him off. And that's pretty much the combat system. You did see there that there are some corpses on the ground. Corpses kind of get in the way a little bit. You can fight them and actually finish them off. I guess they turn to dust. But what they do is they kind of hold positionings so that you know you can't just pick things off and they come. The back lines come flying forward on you. Okay. So what we have here now is we've got a battle in this room, a battle in this room, a battle with treasure in this room. Or we can go to this room where there's no battle and some treasure. Probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to move here, go down to here, and see if there's a battle this way. I'd like to take this battle room with treasure, just because it's always good to get a full treasure chest. And I don't really feel like getting an extra battle in, because that could just cause more stress on my guys, which could always be a bad thing. I'm going to check out this beast carcass. Now I know a little secret here, that these medicinal herbs can cleanse meaty things in carcasses and potentially get food out of them. Had I not done that, there's a very good chance that I might have poisoned or blighted my team member that actually put their hands on that carcass. These little maggots are pretty easy. I'm just going to go ahead and pick the one in the back and bite this one. Ooh, he's going to get a little attack in. Dodged. Can't really do a whole lot here, but I'll go ahead and debuff him just in case, and the Crusader will finish him off. Easy, easy. I like little battles like that. To be fair, I like the stronger battles too. They're a lot of fun. Alright, this little thorny thicket here, I'm going to go ahead and click the shovel. This is the reason why we bring shovels, is to get rid of these things. If we didn't, we would need to clear the obstacle by hand, and it actually gives our guys a lot of stress. These things are kind of gnarly and nasty, and they don't want to touch them. So that's a real good reason to always bring at least one shovel, maybe two. So I love these deeds. Remember, those are the deeds that we need to buff up our town. Keep our torch going. Love these rooms without battles too. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world to watch, but it's music to my ears. When you've lost a few characters that you really care about, you don't want that to happen. I'm gonna take a little sip of my beer here. We are hungry. This will pop up every once in a while. You don't really have a choice. I mean, kind of have a choice. You can eat 4 food. You regain health. I don't need to regain health, but the option is to eat nothing, take 20% damage plus stress damage. I mean, it's horrible when this has to happen. Sometimes it happens. You don't. It's not like halfway through the dungeon you'll get hungry. Sometimes it happens like one room after the next. It's kind of weird, but you know, adds to the random aspect of the game. Left luggage. Well, this luggage has a key on it. It has a lock on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my key. It's a good idea to do that if it doesn't have if it has a key or lock on it and you don't have a key, you may not want to touch it because it'll probably trap you and poison you or something. Okay, looks like our path here is clear to this room with the battle and the treasure. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. We've got another thicket here, so hopefully we find another shovel or we don't have to clear out another one of those. Alright, you get a little map. Suppose that could be worse, huh? I suppose you're right. And there's our battle with a curio. It's always fun. I'm going to go ahead and pop a torch. And we're going to fight this off. These dogs can be kind of nasty. They have rabid rush, which can actually give you diseases, which I'm not a fan of. And apparently it can also bleed. But not apparently, I knew that, but... Oof, there's rabies, yeah. Rabies is a, Oh, I don't think I have snuff box on her. I need to buy that skill. Yeah. He's not too happy about getting bleedy. Rabies isn't too bad. You basically lose 10 to hit, but you get 15% damage. So it's not the worst thing in the world. I'm gonna go ahead and have my doggy attack them all and bleed them. And we're gonna start picking them off in the back, only because the Crusader can't really reach them. So I'll let him have his way with those guys. We'll go ahead and tentacle this guy here. He'll die. He only has 1 hit point left, and that bleed will kill him. And then I'm going to do a Zealous Accusation.
A decisive pummeling.
And those guys are going to die too. They only have 1 each. Let's see here. I'm going to have her use a bandage. Except I could have just healed myself. That was dumb. Someone else could have used the bandage. I don't like anybody else. I like my grave robber.
A death by inches.
Alright, sweetheart. Go ahead and loot that. There you go. More deeds. Love them deeds. Alright, so now we're going to head back this way. We've got another trap that spawned up. Sometimes that can happen, even in paths that you've already cleared. You can run into traps.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
I'm going to go ahead and click that trap. It's disarmed. Always keep an eye on the ground so you can see paths that you're running into. You don't lose as much torchlight walking through hallways that you've already walked through, so keep that in mind. You may think you're in dire need. You know, you got to backtrack a lot. You may feel like you're in some serious trouble, but you might be all right. Let's see here. This corpse. Mummified remains. I don't think the holy water does anything, so I just lost that holy water by trying to do that, and nothing of value on the body anyways. I took a little risk there. She could have gotten something bad with her. I did see that trap. Get a little stress reduction for disarming that, which is always nice. Okay. Alright, this is our final room before our boss, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up our campfire.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
So we got some options here. We've got plenty of food left. So I'm going to go ahead and use option 8, which takes up, or option 4, which takes up 8 food. Gives me 25% health, and and it decreases my stress by 10. I don't have a whole lot of stress going on here, but that's just gravy. 4 food, you get plus 10% health, but no stress reduction. 2 food, you just basically stay status quo. And if you don't eat it all around the campfire, you're going to lose 20% health and gain 15 stress. Not a good option. Okay. So that's like a different skill bar that your guys have here. You've got 12 skill points that you can use. You can take a look at the different skills that they have. Grave Robber's got a really nice one called Snuff Box, which I haven't unlocked on her, but that'll actually remove a disease from somebody, which is really nice. You know, a lot of these will reduce stress. Again, it's a nice common theme here. For him, he can reduce a lot of stress, or reduce stress incoming, reduce stress on a companion, reduce stress on a companion again. Reduce stress by 10, and then they get less stress for 4 combats, which would include our boss battle. Prevent nightmarish ambush, which is nice because I don't really feel like dealing with guys attacking us in the dark. I don't need the scouting chance. Not a whole lot here we can do. I was hoping for some more buffs. So increase stress by 15. One companion gets 20% damage. That's actually pretty nice. Let's go ahead and give my Grave Robber more damage. Yeah, why not? And let's go ahead and give us all less stress. And I don't think we can do a whole lot more. I guess he can buff himself too. And we're going to go ahead and rest for the rest of the night.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Love the voice acting in the background of this game. It's just really great. Another map, which doesn't really do me any good. I'm going to go ahead and strike a torch here.
The promise of safety.
Walk into the boss room. I have never fought these guys, have no idea. Alright, let's take a look. We've got our regular Brigand Cutthroat. We've got our... Well, that's probably what I would have done anyways. Didn't mean to click on them. We got our Fusilier here. I don't see anything special. Our Matchman here's got 13 dodge, minus 20 speed, so he's really slow. And 8 hit points. But then we got this gun here. 70% protection, so it's got a lot of protection. It's pretty much immune to everything, and it's got 50 hit points. So I'm not really sure what the goal here is, but I'm assuming we're going to need to take out this Matchman. So let's go ahead and throw a dagger at him and see what we can do. Popped him. I'm hoping that prevents this thing from popping off at us. I'm going to pull this rifleman up to the front and then finish him off. I guess I could have reckless or zealous accusation. Might have been better. No bleeds. I'm good debuffs though. Bleed resist, bleed resist. Alright, so he cost reinforcements, brought in another Matchman. Well, that Matchman's gonna have to die. I don't want him firing off this cannon. I don't even want to see what it does. We'll go ahead and debuff this guy in the front. And... guess we'll eat him. Nom nom, doggy. Really losing those resistances. I guess we'll Zealous Accusation hit both of them. Hit the cannon for a little bit. Just gonna call in reinforcements. Alright, well you know what to do, sweetheart. Prevent anybody lighting this powder keg off. Yeah, we'll debuff. This might just be a kind of one of those slow grind type of deals. Let's stun this guy. So he can't really take a turn and really hit this cannon. He's going to cast reinforcements anyways. Thought maybe we'd be lucky enough to lose some of that. Front doesn't even make it. Alright, let's see what we can do here. A little AoE in. I know I wasn't really anticipating getting a bleed off on the cannon, but we're chipping away at him. And all he can do is call in reinforcements, and I ain't about to let him spark this thing. I'll just have her keep killing him over and over and over again. Alright, go crit on him. Doggy, get him. He ain't gonna bleed though, but you can bite him. Apparently that's all he's got. Debuff this. I resisted it. Real nice hit on him now. So almost at half health. I feel like I've been doing more work than that, but I'm not so lucky. It's non-stop. Debuff. Let's hit him with AoE. I know I'll probably get hit, but that's okay. Miss. Poor guy just doesn't learn, does he? He's gonna die from the bleed.
Precision and
Oh,
power.
it's a ton of damage. Ton of damage. Yeah, you know the drill. Come on up, buddy.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
The quarry falters. Does it now? Alright, 21. 2/5 to go. See if we can debuff. Nah. 200% resist. I didn't know I bothered. I don't really have another move I could use on it. Get him, doggy. Gosh. So much protection. 70%. Smack him. Truth prevails. Does it really? 10 rounds. Alright. Dagger to the face. I can't really do much. I'm gonna heal my guys up a little bit. He's got stun resist too. Let's see, I can attack. I lose 60% of my damage. This one I don't lose any damage, and I get a 3% chance to crit. It's really my move. It's not doing anything. Get him, doggy. I like it. So every little bit counts when he's got 7 hit points. Done.
Are undone. Our
Done.
family crest is once
Wow.
again a symbol of strength.
Lots of trinkets. Plus the one that I get for beating it. I like it. I like it. So that's pretty much the gist of Darkest Dungeon. I hope you
I see
guys
something long
enjoyed
absent
that.
in the sunken faces of passers-by.
Come back into town, we can see,
glimmer
you know,
of
some
hope.
stuff that I had going on. Removing some diseases from some of my guys. You know, I picked up rabies on this guy. So maybe I want to cure that off. Probably not. I kind of like it. He's got rabies. Everyone's got rabies. But yeah, that's Darkest Dungeon. Wasn't planning on being on too long. I just wanted to go ahead and record this for you guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. And be on the lookout for the for my stream, and also check out my Pathfinder game on Sunday nights. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I also like to play a lot of roguelites, Binding of Isaac, Nuclear Throne, Darkest Dungeon. I'm really looking forward to some other games that are coming out soon, like Enter the Gungeon. I'm really excited for trying to hit that ground running. But I'm gonna go ahead and take care of some family business, and hope you all enjoyed this, and I'll see you all soon.